by Amsoil. Fatheads Eyewear qualifying is underway, and the green flag has waved for the 19C. The driver is Dan Clodfelter. He's from Rockville, Indiana. He's got Motorsports Unlimited helping him out on the side of that Triple X with a Ram Chevy. Clodfelter comes across the line. Pat, lap number 1 at 21.997.
And Dan Clodfelter just a stone's throw from the historic and still standing Jungle Park Speedway from Rockville, Indiana, makes his way into turn number 3. Powers underneath the sun in 3 and 4, and peers down and takes a peek at Tom Hansing.
Dan Clodfelter makes his run down the front straightaway. Lap number 2 is a 22.201. Clodfelter gets things started here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Rolling out next onto the racetrack, driving the number 17 for Bilby Motorsports. Bennett Lodging, Bilby's RV service and supply on the side of his DRC with a J&D Chevy underneath the hood. From Indianapolis, Indiana, here is Nick Bilby.
Nick's been at this game for a while, Lawrenceburg Speedway track champion. He's made a select number of USAC starts, 34 to be exact.
Bilby streaks across the start-finish line, punches the clock at 20.680. That leapfrogs over Dan Clodfelter. Clodfelter's best lap at 21.997. Bilby getting that car all kinds of out of shape as he rolls through turn number 3, gets ready to go and complete lap number 2.
Him and his dad worked this operation well.
Gets better there on lap number 2, Pat. 20.328 for Nick Bilby. Good stuff there. Coming up next, 4 feature victories so far in 2021 for the driver of the Top Motorsports, number 4. NOS Energy Drink, MPV Express, and Top Industries adorn the side of his Maxim with a Chrysler Chevy underneath the hood. From my own California, here's your defending Silver Crown Series champion, JG Justin Grant.
That will get the word on Justin Grant, who is a 2-time winner here at the Terre Haute Action Track.
Grant's first lap, Pat, is good. It's a 20.651, but it's not quite Nick Bilby's speed. Bilby at 20.328, still on top.
This kid came from California with nothing but a helmet bag and desire and clothes in his trunk. He's now made 303 USAC sprint car starts, and he's won 25 of them.
Grant at the line. Is he able to improve and take over the top spot? Yes, he does. 20.256 JG, now on top of the time charts. Rolling out next for Goodnight Racing, driving the number 22 machine. Lumber and Things, Pallet Builders, and Bannock Enterprises on the side of the Maxim with a Claxton Chevy underneath the hood. From Pengrove, California, here's Chase Johnson.
And Chase Johnson's been a USAC CRA victory lane this year. From that little burg, Pengrove, California, just up the coast from San Francisco.
Johnson's first lap, a 21.134. You know, he's got his eyes focused right down in front of him, trying to pick up as much speed as he can. He wears a Bell helmet, size 7 3/8. Not sure why he wanted to tell me that, but he rolls through turns 3 and 4 here. Chase Johnson, 21.134. Let's see if he's able to find some speed at the line. He does improve, Pat, but he stays third overall, 20.712.
He's a former Petaluma Speedway champion, as is Jeff Ensign, who I believe is in the crowd tonight.
Kicking things off now for his first of 2 qualifying laps in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. He's your national championship point leader. He's your defending and a 3-time USAC Amsoil national sprint car champion for Dynamics Incorporated with Fatheads Eyewear, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, and Telstar on the side of the Triple X with a Ryder Chevy. From Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, there goes Brady Bacon. Bacon's first lap, Pat, at 20.895, fourth quick.
Yeah, this guy, though, is going to improve on lap number 2. The 3-time champion, as you said, Tony, he's made 378 starts, 37 victories, and he kills you with top 5s. That's how he becomes the series champion.
Bacon at the start-finish line improves, picks up his pace, and he picks up a position. He goes to third on the board, 20.516 for the Macho Man, who's third. Coming up next onto the track here in Terre Haute, he drives the number 91 for DKR Motorsports, WeatherTech Renovations, and LisaSellsTheLake.com. It's a Triple X chassis with a Speedway Chevy underneath the hood. From Warsaw, Missouri, here is Riley Chrysler.
That Lisa Sells the Lake of the Ozarks of Missouri. A 3-time War Series champion is Riley Chrysler.
Chrysler's first lap, not a bad one at all. 21.302. Carries that left front for just a little bit on the exit of turn number 2. The car looks like it feels good here, Pat.
Sure does. Was a 2020 USAC Midwest Wiggler Series champion, Lonnie Pauly's group at Kansas City, Kansas's Lakeside Speedway last year.
Riley Chrysler on lap number 2 improves to a 20.942, but he'll stay 5th. Hey, I like that Lonnie Pauly guy. He brought me a pizza at Lawrenceburg.
He's a good guy in spite of being a Mizzou fan.
All right, rolling on through here. Coming up next, your 2019 Indiana Sprint Week champion, as well as the 2019 USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Series champion. He drives the black and green number 77M for Bill Michael and Michael Motorsports. Kodiak Products is a brand of bear-resistant trash receptacles. Gray Auto and Valvoline on the side of the DRC with a Cressman Ford underneath the hood from Greenfield, Indiana. Here's CJ Leary. Leary's first lap jumps all the way up to 3rd, 20.446. He's digging here on lap 2, Pat.
Well, my son's from California. He has bears get in his trash can from time to time. He could use that product, but C.J. Leary, a 3-time winner this year, former national champion and former Indiana Sprint Week king.
Leary at the line, and he goes right to the top, 20.214. As Spridge reminded us, Leary's first lap was the fastest first lap we've seen here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, and wouldn't you know it, his second lap was the fastest second lap we've seen of anybody. So
there you go. He's on a roll.
Up next in the 33M from Pleasant Hill, Ohio, Ray Marshall Motorsports owns the car. Buckeye Machine and Hempy Water sponsored. It's a DRC with a Gressman Chevy. Matt Westfall comes out of turn number 4, ready to see what he can do here on lap number 1. It's a 21.115. That's good enough for 7th out of 8.
Big Matt, the very versatile driver from the state of Ohio, Boss Series champion and AMAR's midget champion on his racing resume. He hustles that car. He's also been a late model series champion. Gets a real sideways, Tony, but heads down towards the flag.
Yeah, car looked great right there through turn number 4, and it looks great on the time charts. He picks up a spot. Westfall goes to 6th after laying down a lap of 20.940. Coming up next, a standout from the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Ranks. Did a little bit of 410 non-wing racing last year, but they've decided to go national racing here for all the Indiana, the in-state races for Clausen Marshall Newman Racing in the Driven to Save Lives, number 39, BC from Rossville, Indiana. Here comes Cole Beaudine. Beaudine makes his way across the start-finish line here. Lap number 1 is a 21.453. That's 8th. See what he can do here as he carries a lot of speed out of turn number 2, and these straightaways are just so wide, Pat. It almost tempts the drivers to turn in too early.
It does.
You really have to wait and bide your time and turn in at the right moment. Beaudine carries all that he's got across the start-finish line, and he's going to improve to a 21.453, but he stays in 8th.
You know, we say Newman in that description so often that we may realize some people don't know that's Ryan Newman involved in that team, and Ryan, a former USAC Silver Crown Series champion.
Want to check that. Cole Beaudine improved to a 20.957, but he still will stay in the 8th position. Coming out on track now, the 2015 Indiana Sprint Week champion, driving the number 12 for Blue Motorsports, Suburban Subaru, and Berks Western Telecom. On the side of his Triple X with a notch Chevy, here's the madman, Robert Ballou. Hey, not a bad one there. 6 quick for car number 12, Pat. It's a 20.769.
Yeah, 2 victories this year for Robert Ballou. Unfortunately for Robert, he's won too many Hard Charger awards. And I say that because that means he's not qualified well. That's been a bit of a bugaboo for him. So good start for Robert.
He'll tell you that, too. He improves on his second lap. He could hear you talking about him. Ballou goes 20.571. The madman moves to 5th after his second lap. This is a guy that I'm just confident is moments away from his first USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Series victory. He drives the 21AZ for Team AZ Racing. Honeyshine, USW, CAT Construction, RSS Industries, and CSI are on the side of the DRC with a one-way Chevy underneath the hood. Originally from Anaheim, California, Jake Swanson comes across the start-finish line. 4th quick on lap 1, Pat. 20.419. That is now the new fastest first lap of the session.
Yeah, former West Coast champion, USAC CRA Rookie of the Year. Tony, I think he may get into situations where late he has to turn off the voice in his head that says, I may win my first USAC race, and just let it happen.
Lap number 2 sees improvement in both lap time and position. Swanson jumps to 3rd with a lap of 20.307. The driver from Anaheim, California, has had 3 runner-up finishes so far in 2021 in search of his first National Series victory. On track now, driving the number 6 with Yokohama tires, Chrysler Auto Repair on the side of the DRC with a Claxton Chevy. Underneath that, it's Eberhard Zierzo Racing from Auburn, Illinois. Mario Klauser on track.
And he's had some success this year in Power Eye competition. Has Mario Klauser in the War Series in a sprint car.
Klauser's first lap is a 21.265. That puts him 11th quick.
He's made 37 previous USAC National Sprint Car starts. He's the former USAC UMARA Pavement Midget Champion many years ago.
The Eberhard Zierzo Racing driver comes across the line on lap number 2, and he's going to jump up to 5th. Car number 6 goes 20.403. That's Mario Klauser, 5th quick. Coming up next on the track now, it's the Chief driving the 17G for On the Gas Racing, sponsored by Bitech Resource Management and Cratchey's Cartage. The chassis is a Maxim, the engine a J&D Chevy. The driver from Benton, Illinois, Shane Cockrum, a winner already in 2021 with the USAC Silver Crown Series. Cockrum comes across the line on lap 1, Pat 9th quick, 20.732.
He's just a really good race driver. He's a 2-time, or maybe 3 actually, Lincoln Park Speedway track champion. He's won locally in 2021 in sprint car competition. Boy, just salivates an opportunity to get down into the coin to the Magic Mile, where he's won twice in USAC Silver Crown competition.
Shane Cockrum's second lap is quicker. He's 8th on the board after 2 laps, 20.698. On the track now to take time in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, driving the Dr. Pepper presents the Ronald McDonald House Charities 9K for KT Motorsports. The chassis a DRC with a Speedway Chevy underneath the hood. From Coleman, Alabama, KTJ Kevin Thomas Jr. points his arrow down the front straightaway. Lap number 1 for KTJ, 3rd quick. He's right behind JG. Those two share the top of the win column so far this year, Pat.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And the other thing about Thomas, he's been on the podium on 9 occasions, a 331-time USAC starter. Continues to climb up the win ranks. Boy, he gets a little sideways there.
Yeah,
in that
car rotated a little too much, but not too much at all. 20.039. KTJ to the top here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying.
Sometimes being a little loose coming out fast, and he gets it done there.
Wow, I did not think he was going to be able to lay down a quicker lap after that run he had through turns 1 and 2. It just goes to show you, I don't always know what I'm talking about.
That happens.
Here comes the 71P for Dave Phillips Motorsports. Frank and Jill Day with Hitchit, Jock-ish Flowers on the DRC with the Foxco Chevy. From Bixby, Oklahoma, Cannon McIntosh coming around.
Now, Cannon McIntosh, I think, has been pretty darn impressive in sprint cars this year.
I would agree with you on that one. Lap number 1, a 21.706. That's 14th quick.
I think he made his first start at Plymouth. He had a little wall contact in the B, but rebounded with a good run at Lincoln Park Speedway the next night. He's done a good job, and Midget standout came out of Port City, as so many drivers from the state of Oklahoma have done in their career.
McIntosh's second lap improves all the way up to 9th, 20.670. And we spoke about it yesterday, but Chris Jock-ish of Jock-ish Flowers.
Oh, God, the greatest guy ever.
Not able to be here at the track, recovering from surgery, but that car is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, does a lot of work for Harp. He's one of the all-time great people, Chris Jock-ish.
Coming out onto the Speedway next from Phoenix, Arizona, driving the number 47 for Tom Eads Racing. Physical, medical consultants, and pro stripper on the side of the DRC with a Stensland Chevy underneath the hood. The driver, as we said, hails from Phoenix, Arizona. It's the Bull, Ty Mahako. Mahako's first lap, Pat, 12th quick, a 20.801. Boy, he's ripping through turns 1 and 2 right there.
Yeah, Ty Mahako has done a really good job in local bull ring competition in Indiana. He's been in victory lane this year. In fact, I believe one victory at Lincoln Park came in a car normally driven by Shane Cockrum.
His team tells you he's really low-key until he flips that helmet visor down, and then there's no one more serious in the business than Mahako. 12th quick on lap number 2, 20.749. He improves on his second lap here at Terre Haute. This driver is the most recent winner here in NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by Amsoil ×2. He has scored the last 2 rounds of racing here in Indiana Sprint Week. He drives the number 5 for Baldwin Fox Racing, Fox Paving, Claxton Engines on the side of the DRC with the Claxton Chevy spinning those rear Hoosier tires. From Sutter, California, here's Logan Seavey. Seavey's first lap, 7th quick, 20.436, and he's digging, looking for more.
It went pretty hard into turn number 1, Logan Seavey. When you're on this kind of roll, you love Indiana Sprint Week because you get right back to the race the very next night, and you just want to keep this magic carpet ride going. Here comes Logan.
Seavey was 7th on lap number 1. He'll stay 7th after a lap number 2 of 20.468. That's your most recent winner here in USAC National Sprint Car Competition. Rolling on through, we head to the West Coast now, driving the 51T for Eddie Tafoya Sr. Specialty Fasteners and Circle Track Performance, as well as Bennick Enterprises, adorn the side of the DRC with a Ryder Chevy. All the way from Chino Hills, California, here's Eddie Tafoya Jr.
And he's got it cranked sideways coming out of 4 towards Tom Hansing's white flag.
Junior's first lap at 21.065. He works the car up quite a bit higher through turns 1 and 2 there, Pat. Do you think he's just looking for a bit more grip where other guys haven't been yet?
Trying to find a place to get some grip. You're right, Tony. No doubt about it. 2018 Young Guns champion at the Paris Auto Speedway. Rookie of the year with the USAC CRA.
You're not going to meet better people in the pit area than Eddie and his dad, Senior. Lap number 2 improves. He goes 13th, 20.736. The Tafoyas are just really cool people. This guy's looking for a little bit of redemption after a heartbreaker at Gas City I-69 Speedway back on Monday night. He drives the 74X for Hodges Motorsports, Ortega's Appliance, CSI, and Parts Plus on the side of the DRC, powered by a J&D Chevy from Kansas, Illinois. Here comes the throttle, Shane Cottle. Cottle's first lap puts him 10th quick, 20.662. Something tells me he's got a little bit more in that 74X.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He was muscled up coming out of turn number 4. In terms of local sprint car competition, he's one of the best in the business. He's not done too bad with USAC as well. Shane Cottle coming towards the checkered flag.
It was the Shane and Shane show at Williams Grove in the Silver Crown Series. Shane Cottle goes to 9th on lap number 2 after a 20.565, but it was the Shane and Shane show at Williams Grove. It was unfortunately the Shane and Shane show in the semi-feature on Monday night, but not the right kind of Shane and Shane show. Here comes the Mystery Machine out on track next, the 77S for Tyler Sturgeon Racing. Shaggy's Consulting, K&N Filters, and Redline Oil on the side of that sharp-looking Maxim with the J&D Chevy underneath the hood. From Mesa, Arizona, here's Stevie Sussex. Sussex's first lap at the line. Let's see where it puts him. 16th quick, 20.925. What a throwback on that race car.
Yeah, it's a throwback on the race car and a guy who came out of the great Southwest with a variety of great drivers like R.J. Johnson, Charger Charles Davis, J.T. Imperial, etc., etc.
Stevie Sussex's second lap improves to a 20.830, but he will stay 16th on the charts. Shaggy's Consultant, the sponsor on that, the Mystery Machine. Stevie Sussex teaming up with Tyler Sturgeon Racing here for Indiana Sprint Week 2021. Fresh off of a podium on Monday night at Gas City I-69 Speedway, where he finished 3rd. Here comes the 3R for Rocksteady Racing, Mid-America Safety Solutions, and Project Overside on the side of the Mach 1 with a Cummins Chevy underneath the hood. From Princeton, Indiana, here is Kyle Cummins. Dr. Cummins had a great run back on Monday night. First lap here is going to need some work, 20.979. The field's so tight, that puts him 20th here, Pat.
Well, he'll see if he improves on lap number 2. He's a winner this year, a many-time MSCS Sprint Car Series champion.
Really leans on that right rear. Car looks like it's in good shape here on lap number 2, but it will stay 20th, 20.938. They're trying to get everything underneath the hood of that 3R figured out. He has until the heat races to go back and work on that thing. Rolling out next for KO Motorsports, the 5M. Hudson John Deere, KBC Graphics, Davis Brothers Trucking on the Velocity with a J&D Chevy for Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Here's Jason McDougall. Pat, I cut you off.
No, I'm good on this. Jason McDougall, I'm going to watch him because this is a guy who strikes me as a comic and go in front of him, and he'd be unfazed. He will not be fazed by this racetrack.
I think he is unfazed by most things in life. Lap number 1 for McDougall, a 21.123. That is 21st quick of the 22 cars we've seen here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, and 36 drivers signing up for the 4th round of competition here. McDougall at the line is going to improve up to 12th thanks to a lap of 20.681.
I did a story on former USAC midget champion Tucker Klussmeyer one time, and power ride champion. He said, "Wait till you see this Jason McDougal guy I raced with at Port City."
High praise coming from Tucker Klossmeyer. Next on track, the 14 is owned by Kyle Rogers, Angler Machine and Tool, and Jason Kiefer Racing on the side. It's a spec Chevy powered DRC. And from Worthington, Indiana, here comes Jaden Rogers. Rogers having 2 tough rounds here in Indiana Sprint Week after contact at Lawrenceburg and at Gas City I-69. Lap 1 is a 21.168. That puts Rogers 22nd on the board.
One of the youngest ever to win at the Tulsa Shootout, and has had great success at bull rings here. Rookie of the Year with the United States Auto Club Sprint Cars. He's been the victim of some bad luck.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He improves on lap number 2, 20.757. Rogers goes from 21st to 17th. Good improvement. Exactly what he needs to do here late in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Now, it's time for the winningest active driver in the field here at the Terre Haute Action Track. He drives the NOS Energy Drink, sponsored number 19. He's also got Bird, B&H Contractors, and Amsoil on the side of the DRC with a Claxton Mopar underneath the hood. From Canton, Illinois, here he comes, Big Daddy, Chris Wyndham. Wyndham and that team working awfully hard. It's showing off here in qualifying, Pat. First lap is 9th with a 20.556.
Steaming towards 450 career starts. He's now 3rd all-time in the history of the United States Auto Club and Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Starts. And as you said, a 7-time winner here.
Austin Wenrick and Brian Carber and the team got no sleep after Lawrenceburg. Lap number 2 improves for Chris Wyndham, but he'll stay in 9th. Wyndham, a 20.520. Working our way through him here on track next. Hard to miss this guy. Why would you want to? In the 47D for the Davis Race Team, MP Environmental, Black Magic Bead Breaker, and RSS Industries on the side of the DRC with an Ott Chevy underneath the hood. From Buckeye, Arizona, here comes Charles Davis Jr.
He's been a USAC Old Southwest Series champion.
Davis Jr.'s first lap pad is a 21.024. That is 24th on the chart.
Yeah, he made an East Coast swing years ago with the CRA, so he's always had a little bit of wanderlust in his blood, but an opportunity to race more here last year in the aftermath of COVID, and he's been a regular visitor now.
Car looks good down the front straightaway. It looks good on the time charts. He jumps up to 20th thanks to a lap of 20.933. Charles Davis Jr. 20th at the end of lap number 2. Next up on track here is the 2E for Epperson Racing, Epperson Painting, PPG Paints, Country, and CSI on the side of the Maxim with a Claxton Chevy from Marion, Illinois. Here comes Carson Short. Short kicks it big time through turns 3, rolls on the exit out of turn number 4, gets a point in the right direction, carries a ton of speed out that final corner. Carson Short across the line. He's 25th quick, 21.097 on lap number 1.
We had some sound effects up here, so he's really wiggling Tony Epperson's car here. Tony may have just done a double take.
Take a look and see what Short's got for him here after an eventful second lap around Terre Haute Action Track. Not surprisingly, it will not improve due to the tight moments he had on both ends of the speedway. 21.241. Carson Short stays 25th. Getting down to the end of it here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Just a few more left to go. Everybody is chasing Kevin Thomas Jr. in the Dr. Pepper presents the Ronald McDonald House Charities 9K. KTJ is on top with a lap of 20.039. Coming out next onto the track, driving the 81G for Gray Racing. He's got Gray Auto, Speedtown Comfort, Heating and Cooling, and Rich Innovations on the side of the DRC with a one-way Chevy underneath the hood. From Greenwood, Indiana, here comes Chase Jones. Let's see what Chase has for him here on lap number 1, 21.830. They call him the accountant.
How about that? His dad worked in the IndyCar Series. He's a former Rock Island Grand Prix midget winner and a midget champion at Montpelier Motorsports Park, which we will believe will be back in action pretty soon.
Also heads up the Willpower Kart program in central Indiana. Lap number 2, he improves to a 21.436. Whether it's a go-kart, a quarter midget, or an on-wing sprint car, Chase just wants to race.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
Rolling on through now, talked about, Dr. Pat Sullivan talked about how normally you see this guy in the blue and green number 16, the family-owned car. Tonight, we see him in the number 9 for Chris Shepper, Youngblood Farms, Timberland Lumber Company on the side of the spike with a Shepper Chevy underneath the hood. From Brazil, Indiana, here comes Harley Burns. Burns, our 28th car to take time here in qualifying, and he's going to go 27th on lap 1, 21.585, with the exception of Chris Windham. Track seems to just be slowing down here a little bit.
Yeah, this guy, Harley Burns, in just a matter of a couple of days or so, we'll have to pay some attention to what's happening 3 or 4 miles north of here as he enters Indiana State University.
Burns' second lap improves to a 21.477, but he'll stay 27th on the leaderboard. Coming out onto the track next, very easy to spot this car no matter where he is on the racetrack in that blue chrome and white. Number 19 AZ for Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, CSI, and MVT on the side of the spike with a Stanton Chevy underneath the hood. From Minden, Nevada, living in Oklahoma these days, here comes your Rookie of the Year points leader, Tanner Thorson.
Yeah, it's been a good year for Tanner Thorson as he continues to move up the overall USAC points.
Thorson on lap number 1 is a 21.150. That's good enough for 26 quick. We know that car's got speed in it, Pat. He picked up the Fatheads Eyewear Quick Time Award on Monday night, his first of his USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car career out at Gas City I-69 Speedway. Thorson's first lap, 21.150. Lap number 2 is going to improve. Where does it put him? 12th quick, 20.638. Great pickup there for Thorson.
Picked up a win at Big Diamond in Pennsylvania, also at Path Valley Speedway.
Trying to add his third USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car victory. This driver's trying to pick up their first, driving the number 34 for Sterling Kling Racing, Jeff's Jam It In Storage, and Hoosier Tire on the side of the DRC with a Chrysler Chevy underneath the hood. From Tempe, Arizona, another one of our Rookie of the Year candidates. Here comes Sterling Kling in the 34. Kling, our 30th car out on track. Lap number 1 is a 21.582. That's good enough for 29th after 1 lap.
Yeah, we say Jeff's Jam It In Storage. That's Jeff Walker, a former racer himself, but probably well known for his role as a midget owner for the likes of Dave Darland, Tony Elliott, a very young Justin Grant, just to name many.
Kling exits a little bit higher out of turn number 4, but it does not hurt him. It helps him, in fact. Lap number 2 puts him 26th, 21.050. Sterling Kling improves on his second trip around the track. Another one of our West Coasters to take time now in the 4G. From Vermont Heights, California, driving for Ganson Engineering Motorsports. Trench Shoring, KM2, King Racing Products on the side of the Maxim with a Chrysler Chevy. Here comes Chris Ganson. He is a USAC CRA racer, 4th in CRA points, I believe, last time we talked. Ganson comes across the line. He's going to go 21.889. His young son, Landon.
Yeah, it's Landon. Yeah.
The team manager, Chris tells me.
He graduated from the quarter midgets where he raced with his dad, raced at Pomona, was the 2006 California Lightning Sprint Rookie of the Year before making his way into sprint car competition, and he's going to take a back seat to Landon fairly shortly.
Chris Ganson improves on lap number 2. It's a 21.497, but he will stay in the 30th position. Next up on track, your defending NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by Amsoil champion. He got the rocking chair back in 2020, driving the 5S for KO Motorsports with Hudson, John Deere, Superior Tank and Trailer, and Ravens on the side of the DRC with a Fisher Chevy underneath the hood. From Fort Branch, Indiana, here comes Chase Stockton.
Looking for a good run here, 361 career starts for Chase.
Chase Stockton not messing around here on lap 1, Pat. 14th quick, 20.677. Much better than we've seen a lot of our late draw drivers go here. On their first lap in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. He is just trying to get that thing pointed straight, get the power down. Lap number 2 is going to take him all the way to 5th. Stockton, 20.323. Great improvement for your defending Indiana Sprint Week champion. When Richie Murray says he's silky smooth, you know that's serious business.
Yeah, it is.
Just a few cars left to go here. Next up on track, driving the 7R, our next car to qualify. Ryan Bond Racing, Zoser Custom Homes, Elpers Truck Equipment, and Zoser Team. I'm probably not saying that right. It's a DRC with a J&D Chevy underneath the hood. From Hobstadt, Indiana, here comes the 7R of Ryan Bond. Bond's first lap was a 22.745. That is good for 33rd quick here, and he is just trying to figure out the Terre Haute action track.
Yeah, and no shame in that. I mean, it is a very tricky place. It's a quick place, and the quest now is to keep it between the fences and just log a time and learn from that and go forward.
And as you said, not tear up the race car.
Right.
Keep it between the walls, and he does that, and he even improves on lap number 2. Bond is 22.275, 33rd quick. 3 cars left to go here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. From 3, we go to 2. The 2 car, Yaley Racing, Avanti Windows and Doors, Apache Scapes, and CK Electric keep this car on the racetrack. It's a twister with a Claxton Mopar underneath the hood. Cactus Jack owns it. Thomas Meserol from San Jose, California drives it. Timez coming out of turn number 4 here. He's our 34th car to take time in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. He's 28th quick. 21.069. We'll see what he can do on lap number 2.
You roll back the clock to about 1997. J.J. Yaley came here and was a sensation right there in the Indiana Sprint Week hunt. Cactus Jack, former midget driver, in his own right.
Meserol's first lap, 21.069. He's going to jump up to 22nd with a good improvement, Pat, 20.842.
Right.
And then there were 2 cars left to go here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Picking up the green flag for Goodnight Racing, Bennick Enterprises, Pallet Builders on the side of the Maxim with a Claxton Chevy spinning those rear Hoosier tires all the way from Auckland, New Zealand. Here comes the 79 BT of Max Gilford.
Boy, he's really hiking that front wheel. Watch as he goes into turn number 1, Max Gilford.
Gilford puts it hard on the right rear there through turns 1 and 2. Lap number 1 is 29th quick. Gilford, a 21.091.
Now, I can be proven wrong, but it looked like he just got a little bit too sideways there in 1 and scrubbed some speed, but perhaps he found it somewhere else on the course.
Boy, he looked hooked up there through 3 and 4. Let's see what Gilford's got on lap number 2. He stays 29th with a 21.733. And don't you love it when a plan comes together? The hometown racer from Terre Haute, Indiana, is the final car to take time here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, driving the number 28 with Joe Beard and Sons and bare walls and dirt tracks on the side of his DRC, powered by a J&D Chevy. I said it, you heard it. He's from right here in little old Terre Haute, Indiana. Here comes Brandon Maddox. Maddox at the line to complete lap number 1. He's 30th quick, Pat, 21.092, and he's going way up the track to try and find some speed.
Yeah, unfortunate that he got the draw that he did, given the speed he had shown earlier. Of course, many of you remember Ray Morgan, the pride of Wabash Valley car, another Terre Haute guy who had success here, and boy, he got it real sideways at 4, trying to find something.
Maddox is going to improve on lap number 2. He jumps from 30th to 27th, 20.966. Folks, give the hometown driver some love. That's Brandon Maddox in that black, orange, and silver number 28. Fatheads Eyewear qualifying is done. And KTJ in the Dr. Pepper presents the Ronald McDonald House Charities number 9K is your Fatheads Eyewear Quick Time Award winner. Levi Jones rolling around on the four-wheeler. He's not the Fatheads Eyewear Quick Time Award winner. KTJ, it's his 6th Quick Time of the year, and it's the 35th of his career. He ties Rich Vogler for 8th all-time. How about that, folks? Make some noise for Kevin Thomas Jr. He is your Fatheads Eyewear Quick Time Award winner. CJ Leary was 2nd, Justin Grant 3rd, Jake Swanson 4th, and Chase Stockton rounds out your Fast 5. Nick Bilby was 6th, Mario Klauser 7th, Logan Seavey, Brady Bacon, and Chris Wyndham were the top 10. So USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Fatheads Eyewear qualifying is complete. If you're watching back home on Flow, you see the complete running order on your screen. If you're here at the Terre Haute Action Track, go get yourself something to eat, something to drink, but hurry back because the modifieds are making their way out onto the track. And for that, we turn it over to the one and the very only Patrick Davis.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony Laporta. Modified hot laps and qualifying rolling out here at the same time. First car rolled out onto the speedway. Current points leader in the American Modified Series rolling down the back straightaway out of Robinson, Illinois. That is the 1S of Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw out of Robinson, Illinois.